It was a history of breakdown up and treachery, and of a length-distance relation how went acid. He's not a culmination of Shortland Road, New Zealand's longest-running TV laundry soap opera, but a actual life story of refusal. It happened behind in January 1973 to the southward silent nationality while the UK united the later Europe Economical Society, EEC, the predecessor to present's Europe Association. At the period, on part of kiwi fruit supply were sent 18,500 kilometers, 11,500 miles, to the UK, but accessing to such precious markets would efficaciously end as a outcome of the UK connecting the EEC. It was a large upheaval. It was an emotion upheaval for New Zealand, says P.H. Sundaram of the College of Auckland. Nearly 50% of New Zealand's supply went to the UK at the period, and so down there was enormous concern on which would occur substantially. New Zealand was love an advanced post of Britain behind later. It was the parental-child relation, and I believe human beings were fair frightened of the skirt strings creature cut away. I believe it was perhaps scare. In 1973, colour TV was creature beam in kiwi fruit residing rooms for the at first period, in period for else king marriage, how of Duchess Anne and Mark Phillips, time Wellington's opposition to France nuke test in the area was increasing. The UK's attempts to be a portion of the EEC had been a length time upcoming, but while it eventually happened down there was a feeling in New Zealand of creature sold out by an old boyfriend. I do believe down there was a feeling of treachery, especially amongst older New Zealanders, says Stephen Jacoby, Execution CEO of the New Zealand World Industry Message Board. I myself was unborn in Britain, so my household expatriate of Britain to New Zealand. It is difficult to believe of Britain as a overseas nation. We were planned as a farmer for Britain. How was our justification for life in the planet procedure as it was? Quick forward 45 year and the kiwi fruit economics has been converted. Complementary trading agreements in Australia, China, in 2008, and other include been crucial. So were the brave reforms start in the 1980s how outdoor up and sick castle economics how had been very secured. Brand New Zealand was the at first nation to do a top quality assurance complementary trading transactions in China, says Catherine Bearded, Chief of Exportable NZ, AHAL and Propaganda Team. We've undertaken a very fundamental attitude to trading, so we diminished all the tariff in New Zealand lot year back. We don't include subsidies or we don't include any type of fume and glass supporting for companies within the country, and the ones how kept include thrived. Ours production is in fact unusually strong, and so are our farmers since they include ever had to be globally competition out of supporting. Agriculture is essential to New Zealand, as are forest management and fishery, on in the services segment, travel and formation. As Brexit draws nearer, are down there essential training session for the UK in its ex-settlements economical recovery? New Zealand's travel with the previous 1970s has been stormy at times, and hard decisions include been done on the path. Agile, artistic and diverse economics is core, as is the strive to discover new markets. In an ultra-competitive planet, kiwi fruit exporting countries must ever be on top of their play. On to Peter Busfield, who represents the sea production. We are a length way of any markets, we're very at the end of a not exit road as far as the planet is worried, he says. We've got to go out and enter ourselves to the different markets, and include a important statement how satisfies such customers more than so rather than them purchase of their following door neighboring nation. So New Zealand ever has to execute outstandingly so to break down in any marketplace. Present Australia buys more than kiwi fruit supply rather than nobody else, time China makes up on 20% of New Zealand's across the sea trading. The UK now accounts for fair 3%, that is cost New Zealand dollar, pound 830 meter. New Zealand's supply to the UK substantially include flesh, carbonated beverages and harvest, and down there is appetite suppressant for a New Zealand-UK complementary trading treaty. Time Britain is not a main trading affiliate for New Zealand, it yet is a really essential invest affiliate, says Mr. Jacoby. Britain is the tertiary greatest depositor in New Zealand following the joint state and Australia, so the relation is yet really considerable. Which we include currently, perhaps, is in prospect to give it up today and location it more than in the 21st age. 4 persons and a half many decades following a unpleasant divorce rate the UK is achieving out to New Zealand once again. The mockery of the volte-face isn't lose on lot Kiwis, but they'll discover few there who yet carry a resentment. ANZ UK trading transactions will be a precedence for position Brexit UK, on to Theresa May's by the government. As it looks for new partners, a distant boyfriend it rejected in the history could maybe assist it hug the challenges front.